Hello and welcome to the show. Now, if you're considering investing in property, buying at the right time and at the right price will start you off on the right foot.
But how do you keep up with the constant ebb and flow of the property market?
I'll tell you what, Martel, you could head down to your local property auction.
If you're after a bit of bang for your buck, then investing in property could be the way to go.
Yes, but it's likely that whatever you invest in is going to need some hard graft and some money.
So, who is prepared to get their hands dirty on today's show? Let's find out.
Martin's in Wolverhampton, where he's taking us on a mystery tour.
Come with me. Down this little sort of... Come on.
Tommy is showing no mercy in Great Yarmouth.
This needs to be taken apart and in the skip.
And in Crewe, things go from bad to worse for Martin.
But we have got this, here we go again, this reoccurring problem. What is going on?
All these properties have been sold at auction, and we'll find out who bought them and what they paid for them when they went under the hammer.
1, 2, 3, and gone.
First up, we're off to Pendeford, a suburb of Wolverhampton that's bordered by fantastic stretches of canal. The canals are used today for leisure boating and fishing. But now it's time to head inland to take a look at today's auction lot.
Well, I'm close to the centre of Wolverhampton in a little residential area called Pendeford. Here to see a 3-bed mid-terrace with a guide price of £29,000 plus. Front garden could do with a bit of a strim. Apart from that, looks all right. OK, straight away you can see it's going to need a bit of decoration at the very least. Very dated and very yellow. I don't have to go too far before I'm seeing a few things that are going to need sorting out. Although that's got these vaguely modernish, not really flicker switchy things, that's actually just a replacement for the old fuse kind of cartridge thing. So that is very old. So that's an indication that you're definitely going to have to think about having the electrics done, the house rewired, so you need to factor in a reasonable amount of your budget for that. But a good sized living room at the front there, which is good. These corridors don't really work. Understairs cupboard and downstairs loo just there, which is quite nice. And then through to the kitchen. Again, it's all very... I don't suppose this has been, I don't know, replaced since it was built in the, my guess, the 80s. You know what I'm going to suggest, don't you? That wall there. It's a stud partition, so I reckon the thing to do is to get rid of that, open this whole area up. I always say that, don't I? But it makes such a difference. And then play around the kitchen, maybe put in a breakfast bar or something like that, and create a really nice living space. And you would transform this place. So upstairs, and actually quite a nice surprise, because compared to downstairs, it sort of works. You've got 3 bedrooms, a smaller one towards the left at the front there, larger double to the right. A bathroom, which, yes, needs a bit of tender loving care, and you'd want to replace the bathroom suite and get rid of the tiles, etc., etc. But at least it's in the right place where you'd want it to be, at the top of the stairs. And then through into the 3rd bedroom, a good-sized double again. And, you know, as I said, compared to downstairs, the upstairs doesn't need too much doing to it. And I reckon the whole house, replace the doors, sort out the electrics, new kitchen, new bathroom. It's a good project, perhaps, for someone as a first renovation or just a way to get a house for a little bit less, put some time and effort into it and create your own place, which is then worth a little bit more money. Yeah, good one. Well, at the back of the property, just an area laid to concrete and paving slabs. But you know what, it doesn't look to be in too bad condition when you glance back at the house itself. The fascia boards could do with replacing, roof looks all right. Windows, at least they're double glazed, but there's a bonus. Now, one of the things that's really important, as we keep on saying here on Homes Under the Hammer, is that you visit the property before you buy it. And sometimes that's to spot bad things, but sometimes that's to spot good things, because according to the auction catalogue, this is it, that's it. You've got this little yard area, you've got the bit at the front, you've got the house, da-da-da. However, what I found is, come with me, down this little sort of, come on, down this little alleyway, and there's this bit here. Now, I've looked into it in a bit more detail, and this is a parking space, no kidding, which actually comes with the house. So it's a bit of a Brucey bonus. But you wouldn't know about it unless you've been to visit the property.
But what will a local property expert make of this 3-bed terrace? We've invited one along to find out.
My impression of the property, it's not too bad in terms of condition. It needs a general refurb. It could do with a new kitchen, new flooring, new paintwork. In terms of structural work, extensions, I don't think it's needed for this particular property.
So what rental figure does he think this place could achieve after refurbishment?
Once completed, I would expect this property to achieve a rental of £700 to £750 per calendar month.
And a sales value?
On the open market, I would expect this property to achieve between £165,000 and £170,000 once the renovation's completed.
Well, it needs a bit of sorting out, but nothing an enthusiastic DIY couldn't cope with. Good starter project, I'd say. Let's see who bought it when it went under the hammer.
This lot was sold at a remote property auction with online bids only.
Yes, we are. That's yours.
The successful bid of £121,000 came from Howard and his wife Wendy. They are novice developers, and Martin met with Howard back at the property where he had a little confession to make that he'd been keeping to himself.
Howard, good to meet you.
Lovely to meet you, Martin.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell me why you wanted to buy this house.
Well, we looked on the internet and saw this house 2 hours before the auction ended.
Oh my, what?
Yes. So we had to make a quick decision on whether we wanted it or not.
So how much research were you able to do?
2 hours worth of research, yeah.
What did you do in that time?
We came and had a look at the outside of the property.
You did? So you live nearby?
We live half an hour away, yes.
OK.
Yes.
In the car, come here, have a look from the outside. Back on the online, presumably.
Yes, and then on to the auction website to check the legal pack.
Right.
And did a little bit of research on the area and the whole estate of what houses were selling for, and decided that it would be a good purchase.
So why was it so last minute?
Well, me and my wife Wendy went to auction a few days before this one and failed to get a house there, so we carried on looking online, and then this one came up.
You thought, oh my word.
We've got to go for it, yeah.
Wow. So when you saw it for the first time inside, were you pleasantly surprised or disappointed?
I was really surprised, actually, and it's in good condition, I think.
In a good way?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Were you nervous paying all that money, thinking, you know, I don't really, 2 hours ago I didn't know about this and now I do, and...
I was very nervous, and my wife Wendy was even more nervous, but we managed to keep it together and won it at the auction.
Right, well done. Were you happy with what you paid for it?
At the time I thought we paid a little bit too much, but now talking to the estate agent, I think we've done all right.
Done OK. So you say you were looking previously. Is this something that you do for a living or what?
Me and the wife, we both gave up work in June, got married, and we're going to be doing this together as a joint venture.
Oh, great.
Yes.
So what about your jobs? Did you have a job before that? Or?
Yeah, I'm an electrician. And
oh, that's good.
Wendy worked for the NHS. So,
right.
Yeah, we both gave up our jobs and to do this.
Wow. So this is your first venture then?
This is the first one, yeah.
Why did you want to choose this one particularly?
I thought because it's a relatively new house, a 70s house, that there can't be many structural defects like a Victorian house. It's on an estate where all the houses are exactly the same, so they're very comparable to each other.
Howard will be putting his electrical skills to good use by rewiring the entire property. They have a budget of £12,000 for a full redecoration and layout changes downstairs. They'll move the WC to under the stairs and knock down the walls between the kitchen and where the WC currently is to create an open kitchen diner.
What's the idea for it? Is it to rent it out or to sell it on?
It's to sell it on if there's enough money in it for profit.
And is the idea then to repeat that and do it again?
Yes, hopefully do 3 or 4 a year and then maybe go into building houses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Great. Well, certainly you having a trade is really helpful, isn't it?
It should help cut costs quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah. What about Wendy then? She obviously said she was working in the NHS. Is she quite practical though? Is she going to come and help you in here with the DIY and things?
She's really looking forward to getting the sledgehammer out and doing all the labouring and the stripping of the wallpaper, yeah.
Great. And are you looking forward to working together?
Yeah, I think it should be good, yeah.
Wow. Brilliant. What sort of timescale have you set yourselves?
I'd like to do it within 10 to 12 weeks, yeah.
Oh, well, we really get on with it. So what about outside? Obviously you've got the drive at the back, but, you know, maybe tidy up the gardens? Or
probably do a little decking area and just keep it fairly low maintenance, yes.
Right. Are you looking forward to it?
Really looking forward to it, yeah.
Well, listen, congratulations. Good luck with it. We look forward to seeing how you get on.
Thank you very much.
So, a bit of a snap decision for Wendy and Howard to buy this place in just 2 hours. But hopefully this first project will go well for them. How will it turn out? You can find out later in the show.
Now to the Norfolk seaside town of Gorleston-on-Sea, just south of Great Yarmouth, boasting a 3-mile stretch of beautiful sandy beaches. I'd be tempted to go for a paddle, but there'll be none of that for Tommy, as he's in town to check out an auction lot.
I'm in a popular residential area, which is just a mile from the town centre and the beach. And the property I'm here to see is a 2-bedroom end of terrace, with a guide price of £90,000 to £130,000. And this is it. First thing I've noticed, off-street parking, and also the double glazed windows look in very good condition. So we're off to a good start. Let's have a look here what we've got here. Oh, that's a nice big cupboard, which would be ideal for creating a downstairs loo, because the soil pipe for the waste is in that room. So make a note of that. Here we have a nice kitchen, nice size actually. A bit dated, a bit tired, but it's a good size. Now we come into here, which is the lounge. Yes, not bad, nice size. These ceiling tiles, polystyrene ones, they've got to come off, they're a fire hazard. It's a decent size though, but it's also a little bit dark. And the reason for that is because there's conservatory at the back. This is a very dated, homemade conservatory. Yeah, and it's all going apart a little bit. Plastic roof, single glazed, and it's actually the glazing's dropping there because the timber frame's all rotten. This needs to be taken apart and in the skip. Now, whether you replace it with a new conservatory, the best way to do it probably in this case would be to take this out and build right across, demolish all this stuff and build a single-storey extension. That's the way I would do it if I was going to do it.
A small extension like this can add valuable extra living space and would likely be possible under permitted development, so you wouldn't have to apply for planning permission. But it would still need to comply with building regs, so, as always, it's best to do your research before embarking on something like this.
We're upstairs now, and there's 2 good-sized bedrooms. And this bathroom, family bathroom, is a bit tight, but there's still sufficient space up here to make a decent family bathroom. Now, it's a very nice, spacious landing and corridor, which is important. It doesn't feel cramped. And then we're into the 2nd bedroom, which is about the same size as the other one. The one difference here is there's this humongous cupboard here. Now, that could either turn into a walk-in wardrobe or it could be an ensuite. And then this cupboard, which was originally an airing cupboard, so that could all come out and be made into a lovely full-size fitted wardrobe. Most importantly, look at that view. Oh, this is a nice sized garden. It's a good family garden. Not too big, not too small. In full sun. We've got playing fields the other side of the fence, so that no one will be building on that. That'll always be your outlook, that green outlook. Fantastic. And looking at this, where the shed is, and the space in front of it's not used, there is great potential to actually build a two-storey extension on the side of this house. And you could actually bring it further back to be included in a single-storey extension on the back. So make it a wraparound. You double the space in the house and you won't lose any space in the garden. Do you know what? This is a house with real big potential.
But what will a local estate agent make of this lot? We've invited one along to get his thoughts on the house.
The property's got a great deal of potential here, I think, with the garden space. Obviously, a big bonus with the driveway at the front there as well. There's a bit of a side plot to the property, so possible extension on the kitchen or lounge. There's potential there. And really just needs some cosmetic updating throughout.
There appears to be a good opportunity to extend here. What would he suggest is the best way to go about this?
So personally, if I was going to extend here, I would go for a sun lounge extension. I think you've still got a decent amount of garden space left and a room that can be used all year round. The back of the property faces west, so you get a nice, end of day, evening sun from the rear.
If the property was renovated, keeping the current layout, what sales and rental figures does he think it could achieve?
Once renovated, I believe the property could sell for around £180,000 or rent for around £750 per calendar month.
And what about the refurbished house with the recommended extension?
So once fully renovated, with the additional extensions, we'd probably be looking at a resale value of between £190,000 to £200,000. Rental-wise, probably between £775 per calendar month to £800 per calendar month.
I think this is a great property. It does need modernising, but I don't think there's anything structural that really concerns me. And I don't think it'd be too big a job to bring it up to the 21st century. Let's see who agreed when it went under the hammer.
This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
Third and final time. Congratulations, well done.
And the winning bidder, who got this lot for £144,500, was budding property developer and mother of two, Charmaine. And she's joined by son Owen, who's also keen to get stuck in.
Charmaine and Owen, congratulations on your acquisition.
Thank you.
It's a very nice little house, this.
I think it has great potential, yeah.
So, were you very happy or disappointed with the price you paid for it at auction?
I was happy with the price because I thought up to 160 would have been a fair price to pay for it at auction.
Did you have a look at the house before you bought it at auction, or...?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
You didn't get a chance, so you bought this unseen?
Yeah.
What about the legal pack? Did you read that before you purchased this?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Oh, good. And this is your son, Owen?
Yeah, this is my son, Owen.
And what part of the business are you involved with?
I am mainly going to sort of supervise and make sure things are done right.
Ah, sound nice, confident sounding.
Because it's something that I'd like to do in the future.
Ah, so we're creating new developers then?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. So have you done any previous development before? Have you actually worked hands-on on any of them?
When renovating our own house, sometimes I'd just pick up a paintbrush or pick up some sandpaper. But besides that, no, not really.
You did that without prompting from your mum?
I mean, occasionally, sometimes it would require that, but on the other hand, yeah. Sometimes I just decide to do it by myself.
Oh, good for you. And all you have to do is make sure you keep your eyes wide open on all the work that gets done, just so that you pick up the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 12 years old.
Oh, so you've got the bug very young.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And you happy with that, Charmaine, that it goes into the developing game?
Yeah, they say train a child whilst they're still young and they won't depart from their ways. So I'm just trying to sow a seed in him that will grow with him as he grows.
What a project for Charmaine and young Owen to learn on. Every room of the house will be getting a facelift, including a new kitchen and bathroom. And Charmaine is hoping to add a downstairs loo to the cupboard in the hall. The plan is to sell the property once complete. They aren't going to add an extension, but will apply for the planning permission, which, if approved, could be the cherry on top to tempt potential buyers. Charmaine has set aside a budget of £15,000 and a timescale of 8 to 10 weeks. She's hired a local builder to carry out the work, and they better be up to scratch, as quality controller Owen will be on their case.
So how long have you been doing this then, Charmaine?
Since 2017, that's when we bought our first property at auction with my husband. But on this project, I go solo.
So your husband's not involved in this in any way?
He's not involved, no, but I've got his support because he's very supportive like that.
So in this family team, I'm just wondering, so it's just you and Owen?
My daughter, Tari, helps out as well.
Oh, so your daughter helps, so there's a team of 3, effectively?
Absolutely, absolutely. Obviously, my husband helps out as well. He makes sure that, like, financially, we are stable.
Oh, right. Well, that's a team of 4 then. So
yeah.
That's good. The whole family are involved.
Yeah, yeah, it's a family affair.
Oh, that's good. So you said that your career in refurb and developing started, what, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
What's your background before that?
I'm a finance assistant, but I've been watching Homes Under the Hammer since it began back in 2003. And that's been the inspiration, that's the backdrop to my property investment.
Has Owen watched it as well? Do you watch it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's an inspiration for you as well?
Definitely.
Oh, good. So the show is responsible for creating more entrepreneurial developers.
It is such an inspiration. It just helped me to realise what I can do with property.
Oh, good. So on that note, I'm going to wish you the best of luck for you and your family on this venture. And I'm sure you're going to be hugely successful with it.
Thank you very much, Tommy.
Thank you.
Cheers. Well, it always makes me smile when we inspire new developers. And I think Charmaine and her family may find this particular development a bit trickier than anything they've done in the past. However, I'm sure with the support of her family, Charmaine will make a successful development out of this particular project. Will she do it on time and in budget? You can find out later in the show.
Coming up, Martin heads off to Crewe.
If you're looking for extensive, well-maintained gardens, you're not going to find them.
And in Gorleston, it's been a mother and son dream team.
It's really been good working with Owen, and I'm looking forward to working with him again in the future.
It's time to head back to Pendeford in Wolverhampton, and this 3-bed terrace that had a guide price of £29,000 plus. And Martin was up to his usual tricks.
You know what I'm going to suggest, don't you? That wall there. It's a stud partition, so I reckon the thing to do is to get rid of that, open this whole area up. I always say that, don't I? But it makes such a difference.
And there was a hidden gem with this lot.
Come with me. Down this little sort of, come on, down this little alleyway, and there's this bit here. Now, I've looked into it in a bit more detail, and this is a parking space, no kidding, which actually comes with the house. So it's a bit of a Brucey bonus.
A bonus that you wouldn't have actually been aware of had you not visited the property in person, as it wasn't clearly detailed in the paperwork. Paying £121,000 at auction was novice developer Howard, an electrician by trade, who is one of the few people to have left Martin speechless.
We looked on the internet and saw this house 2 hours before the auction ended.
Oh my, what?
Yes. So we had to make a quick decision on whether we wanted it or not.
Together with his wife, Wendy, they were excited to get this new venture going, which they hoped would become a full-time career.
Me and the wife, we both gave up work in June, got married, and we're going to be doing this together as a joint venture.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Howard and Wendy were looking forward to getting stuck into their new project and hoped to complete it within 10 to 12 weeks with a budget of £12,000. Have they been successful? We're back 5 months later to find out. Outside, they've put up new fencing and stoned the front garden. And inside has been totally transformed. The living room is so much brighter and homely. Howard stuck to his plans and reconfigured the hallway, adding a utility space to put the washing machine and laundry. The old worn-down kitchen is no more. And Howard successfully took down the adjoining hallway wall, creating an open-plan space. Upstairs, the layout has stayed the same, but they did take everything back to brick and start it again. The bedrooms are looking great. And as for the bathroom, what a difference. The back of the property has simply been tidied up. So let's join Howard and his wife Wendy to find out how they got on.
We've gone for a very high standard of finish to try and maximise the profits on a sale.
I think we've tried our best, you know, we wanted to do a good job. It's the first one we've ever done. We've taken pride in everything that we've done, haven't we, really? Yeah. It's been a hard slog, but I think we're both really, really pleased with the standard of finish and, you know, hopefully that'll get us a quick sale.
So Howard and Wendy have decided to sell the property, and they sound happy with the outcome of their first project together. Although it wasn't all plain sailing.
When we first bought it and we hadn't seen it, when we come in, I was quite happy that there didn't appear to be a lot of work to be done, but that was short-lived, as I found that the plasterboards were loose on the walls, the stud walls were rotten, so yes, there was a lot more work than first thought.
We had problems with walls, didn't we? Yeah. Not being so straight, and floors and cracks and bits and pieces, so there was a lot more work than we initially thought.
Yes, there was, yeah, a lot more work.
Well, it may not have been easy, but they've done it. They planned to do a lot of the work themselves, so in the end, did they do as much as they hoped?
So myself, I have absolutely no experience of building work or anything like that. I've always worked in sales or hotels or that kind of thing. So it was a really, really big job for me. I literally followed orders from Howard. I did what I was told. In the beginning, I think, I knocked a lot of things down while you did all the technical stuff. And then when Howard was doing the kitchen and the bathroom, I just went around and I actually painted the whole house. That's something that I could get away with and go and do on my own without being told. But you've done everything else, haven't you?
The only tradespeople we've had in is a plumber for the gas and a plasterer to plaster the house out. We've done all the other work ourselves.
All in all, the project seems to have been a success. Due to the extra work required, it did take a little longer than the original 10 to 12 weeks planned. Have they managed to stick to their budget, or have they gone over?
The budget, we went over budget by about 6,000 because with a lot more work needed doing than at first anticipated. So I think in the end we spent 18,500.
Will the extra spending be worth it? We've asked along the estate agent who viewed the property initially to hear his thoughts and to find out those all-important valuations.
I'm incredibly impressed. The standards of the guys that have done it, especially to say that they've done it on their own with minimal contractors, I'm absolutely blown away with what they've done. The layout downstairs is fantastic. The way that they've got that open plan concept is brilliant. It fits with today's families, especially first-time buyers. The layout upstairs, I'm glad that they've stuck to the original design and it works really, really well.
Is there anything else the agent would have done to improve the property further?
The only thing I would have tried to do differently is add parking to the front. I appreciate that is difficult with the lamppost being at the front of the property. However, the guys have got a driveway out the rear, so there is an option for parking there, so it still works. Apart from that, they've left a blank canvas for someone to put their stamp on it.
Since the agent last visited the property, the market has been booming, and he feels that the property could achieve some great figures. So, what are those new valuations?
On the rental market, I believe that the property would be worth between £750 per calendar month and £800 per calendar month, with a sale value of £185,000 to £195,000.
That's amazing.
Brilliant.
Really good.
Really pleased with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Howard and Wendy are more than happy with those figures, giving them a rental yield of nearly 7%, or a profit of between £45,000 and £55,500. They are certain that they are going to be selling the property, but what's in store for them further down the line?
I think in the future we'd like to do probably 2 or 3 houses a year.
We did at one stage think about trying to build our own house, didn't we?
We did, yes.
That might be a little bit of a leap at the moment, but whether we get a few more houses under our belt and maybe try to do that in the future.
Yeah.
Martin is in Crewe, Cheshire, which is close to the picturesque landscapes of the glorious Peak District and beautiful North Wales. Let's see today's final property.
Well, I am very close to the centre of Crewe, on the side of this very busy main road, here to see a property with a guide price that sounds almost a bit too good to be true. £25,000 for this, OK? It's a 2-bed mid-terrace. Anyway, it is on a busy main road. So, thankfully, when you shut the door, some of the noise from the road goes away. And straight in here, what have we got? Well, it doesn't look to be in brilliant condition, but very classic layout. Into the rear sitting room here. Oh dear, straight away. That's not good, is it? What's going on there? Right, oh well. Skirting board, or ex-skirting board. What on earth is causing that? It'll be fine. Yes, anyway, what else have we got? Kitchen here. And good news, actually. I was expecting to see that go a bit further and there'd be a bathroom. But in this case, there isn't. So, could mean that the bathroom's upstairs, which would be fab. So let's explore this way. I mean, you know, in terms of layout, in terms of space, it's not bad, but we have got this, here we go again, this reoccurring problem. What is going on here? What is going on? This is really badly rotten. Look at that. And I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my gosh, look. We've got the start there of the little tendrils of dry rot as well. So something quite serious is going on here.
Not only is it rotten on the inside, but this layout is a bit odd. You can only access the front room from the back room.
So, back to the kitchen, and not a bad size, and I love the fact you've got this really big window in here. It makes the room feel perhaps bigger than it actually is. Boiler there, you know, you'd probably want to replace that, but at least all the pipe work is in the right place. And then new units, obviously, to sort this place out. A bit of useful storage under the stairs. So, I mean, in terms of space, the downstairs here, it's really, really good. Just obviously needs a bit of sorting out. Take a look upstairs. So upstairs, and sure enough, at the top of the stairs, a really nice sized bathroom. My guess is that at some point this would have been converted from a bedroom. You know, saved you the decision-making process, I suppose, unless you want to think about converting it back into a bedroom. 3 beds over 2, where you're going to put the bathroom, don't know me, you put an ensuite, then you miss down a family bathroom. All the sort of debates that you might actually have. But anyway, it is here. I would just do it up pretty much as it is.
Of the 2 actual bedrooms, the first has a good view of the backyard, but it also has a not so attractive feature. This old water tank, which is surplus to requirement, given there's a combi boiler downstairs in the kitchen. Get rid of this and you'll have some valuable extra space to play with.
A few problems with damp. That looks like something going on with the roof there, causing problems. Could that be causing the problems downstairs? I don't think so. I think that's rising damp downstairs. In here, looks like there's a bit of a kind of movement of the floor over in this direction, which is a bit strange, but a really nice sized front bedroom again. A few problems with the roof. That's a classic, all around the chimney breast there. That's probably the flashing on the chimney breast that's gone. However, one thing I'm thinking about in this room, I mentioned about an ensuite. Yeah, there's definitely room here to put a little small ensuite in this bedroom without losing too much of the space. So it's a spacious house that just needs some work.
So the inside of this property has lots of potential. Let's see what there is on offer outside.
So out the back, and if you're looking for extensive, well-maintained gardens, you're not going to find them. However, what you have got is a pretty useful little sort of, well, area, I guess. Now, I'm here and I'm thinking, could you maybe do some kind of an extension on the kitchen? That's certainly what some of the other properties in this street have done. I would certainly consider that, but I guess you've got to decide if it's going to give you payback, if you're going to look to add value to sell, or want to improve the quality of your life, or if it's going to add to the rental value. You've got to weigh that up against the cost. But all in all, it's a house I think it's got great potential.
To find out more about the potential of this property, we asked along a local estate agent to tell us what she thinks this property could benefit from before going on the market.
The property is in need of a redecoration throughout, and it is in quite a vast need of new flooring and bits and pieces, and to make it safe as well. So for the property to be brought up to a standard for somebody to live in, or for it to come back to market, you'd be looking to spend in the region of £10,000 to £25,000, depending on what condition you're looking to complete it to.
And what might the returns be, starting with the potential rental income?
I think once renovated, this property could achieve between £500 and £600 per calendar month.
And what if you decided to sell the property?
I would think this property would be able to achieve anywhere between the £90,000 and £100,000 on resale.
So, some things to sort out, especially the source of that damp that's causing all that rotting of the skirting boards. But intrinsically, a good house, and my personal view is it's going to go way over the guide price. Let's see what happened, though, when it went under the hammer.
This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
1, 2, 3, and gone.
The successful bid was made by Chris from Cheshire, who paid £70,000 for the property. He works as a data analyst, but this will be his second property he's bought to develop. Let's find out what his plans are for this one.
Chris, nice to meet you. Congratulations. Tell me why you wanted to buy this place.
Yeah, we were just looking for a property to sort of do up and develop. We were looking for our first auction property.
Oh, great.
And going through the process. I wanted to buy somewhere relatively close to where we live at home. So,
who's the we?
Myself and Alyssa.
OK, is that your partner?
That's my partner, yeah.
Oh, great. Now, one of the things I was intrigued by, the guide price was really low on this, wasn't it?
It was, at 25.
And you ended up paying, as I predicted, a bit more than that, in fact, a lot more than that.
We did, yes, yeah.
Do you think you paid too much?
Slightly too much, yeah.
Right. But what was that down to?
Just getting carried away at the auction and with it being the first experience. So.
And then what's the plan for it?
We are either going to sell it on, depending whether the money's there, with a high price that we paid for it, or rent it out.
Right. What about layout, internal layout? You're going to change that, right? Obviously, you've got the bathroom upstairs, which is good news, but it could be a bedroom. I mean, you could play around. I mean, what do you
Yeah, I mean, we were going to get somebody in to have a look to see if we can make it sort of a 3-bedroom as well, because the bathroom is quite a large space. We've got a kitchen already to put in, so we're going to take the old one out and then put a new one in.
Okay.
Bathroom, we're going to look to get a new bath and fit the shower and the plumbing for that as well. I'll do all that.
Great. Now, what about the damp? Because obviously, you know, when I came here, the fact that a significant number of the skirting boards are all falling to pieces, and there is actually a sign of a bit of dry rot starting in one place. What do you think has caused that?
I'm not sure what's caused that. I'm not an expert in damp, so I'm going to get somebody in to have a look at that. So. Right.
It could be rising damp to the floor. It could be, you know, you need to put a new damp-proof course in or whatever. But that's something you'll get some help with, presumably.
Yeah, we'll definitely get some help with that, yeah.
Yes, getting an expert to come in and sort out the damp issues in this place is probably a must. As far as the backyard is concerned, their plan is to simply tidy it up and remove the old shed.
So what kind of bits of the practical work are you going to get involved in?
I'm going to get involved in the replastering of the wall.
Oh, are you? All right.
Yeah, I did the plastering previously in the previous place.
Oh, great.
That was quite fun.
Really?
It went really well. So.
Wow. That's a hard job.
Enjoyed that. So.
Yeah. Plastering's definitely a hard job.
Well, if Chris is prepared to take on the tough jobs like plastering, it sounds like he's no stranger to challenges. But as with many auction properties, it's only when you start to examine the fabric of the building that you realise the extent of the problems. And in this case, I think the damp may be a big issue. Let's hope this doesn't use up too much of the couple's funds.
So what's the budget for your work?
7,500.
7.5 to do all that?
Yeah.
Only possible if you're going to do a lot of the work yourself, right?
That's right, yeah.
And if there's damp problems, that might stretch that budget a bit, right?
It is, yeah. I mean, we do have a contingency of 2,500 as well.
So what's the timescale?
12 weeks.
12 weeks, right. But that's doing it in part-time,
yeah.
You know, not during the day, but having people in to help.
That's right, yeah.
Well, listen, congratulations, good luck with it, and we look forward to seeing how you get on.
Great, thanks very much.
So, Chris and his partner are embarking on their first property renovation project, admitting they possibly paid a little bit too much at the auction, got a bit of auction fever, I think. That doesn't bother me. However, that £7,500 budget does, even with the £2,500 contingency, especially if there's dry rot, damp, new boiler, renovations, kitchen, bathroom, really? It's going to be tight. You can find out how they get on later in the show. Well, we've seen how the first of our property projects fared, but what about the other two?
I think it's high time we find out what they've been up to.
Let's go back and see.
We're heading back to Great Yarmouth and Gorleston-on-Sea to this two-bed end terrace, guided between £90,000 and £130,000. There was instant potential as you walked through the door.
That's a nice big cupboard, which would be ideal for creating a downstairs loo, because the soil pipe for the waste is in that room.
And the large cupboards didn't stop there.
Now, that could either turn into a walk-in wardrobe or it could be an ensuite. And then this cupboard, which was originally an airing cupboard, so that could all come out and be made into a lovely full-size fitted wardrobe.
It was Charmaine and her son Owen who bought the property for £144,500. And 12-year-old budding developer Owen was keen to take the leading role.
What part of the business are you involved with?
I am mainly going to sort of supervise and make sure things are done right.
Ah.
They had a £15,000 budget and an 8 to 10 week time frame. We're back 4 months later to see how they got on. The hallway looks bright and modern with new carpets throughout. The living area has been freshened up. Charmaine mainly sticking with a black, white and grey palette. The dated kitchen has been transformed with high-spec appliances. Upstairs, the bedrooms have had a lick of paint and new carpets.
There was a cupboard by the entrance which was crying out for a downstairs toilet because there was a pipe that sort of like ran down from the bathroom upstairs. So we've managed to turn that into a toilet. So the property's got 2 toilets now. I think I'm most pleased with the upstairs bathroom because I didn't think we'd be able to fit a bathtub in, but we've managed to fit in a bathtub with a shower, a modern toilet and a modern sink as well.
Owen planned to get stuck in with the project, so what jobs has he carried out?
My role was sort of overseeing the project, like making sure things are being done, noticing if something's not right or something's not been done at all.
Owen's only 13, he's still in school, but he's been giving it everything that he's got, helping to manage the project. It's really been good working with Owen, and I'm looking forward to working with him again in the future.
Charmaine opted against Tommy's idea of replacing the conservatory with a single-storey extension. Instead, she had it removed completely, which has allowed for a lovely patio area to be created. Now that it's all done, what are their plans for the place?
We're leaning towards making it serviced accommodation, which is short-term lets, short to medium-term lets.
As well as Owen, Charmaine was able to call on the help of a local expert to get the renovations completed.
So the work here was done by a gas engineer. He's the one who sort of like managed the whole project, and he used his contacts to do things like the tiling, the kitchen fitting, the flooring, and all sorts of other jobs. And yeah, he's really been a godsend.
How did they get on with their budget of £15,000?
We've just gone a little over at 15,500, and that's because we just wanted to add a little bit more luxury to the property in terms of the bathroom and the downstairs toilet.
Given all the work they've done, only going slightly over budget is a real achievement. Time now to get the opinions and valuations of a local estate agent.
In terms of removing the conservatory from the property, I think that was probably the best idea, considering the condition that it was in. And again, it hasn't devalued the property at all. Adding the downstairs toilet was the right thing to do. It's what buyers look for. It's convenient to have a downstairs toilet and an upstairs bathroom.
Charmaine has spent a total of £160,000, combining the purchase price and renovation costs. So what could it achieve on the sales market?
So the property would look to sell for between £190,000 and £200,000.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that. That's the sort of ballpark that I was hoping for. So anything from 180,000 is profitable. So 190 is good.
That top figure of £200,000 could give Charmaine a pre-tax profit of £40,000. As she's planning to let the property, what kind of monthly figures would she be looking at?
The property would look to rent for £700 to £750 per calendar month.
I think that's a bit low. I would be expecting a minimum of £800 to get the return that I would like on this property. And I have spoken to an estate agent who thinks that we can achieve that or more comfortably.
Holiday lets can provide less consistent earnings, particularly outside the tourist seasons. But if Charmaine can achieve an average income of £800 per month, like she hopes, then it would give her a yield of 6%, which is very respectable. So overall, how have things gone?
I think it's worked out really great. I'm very pleased because we bought this for 145, done it up for 15. So it's been quite profitable. And also we've gained a property that we can use for holiday lets, and other people will be able to use this space as well. So yeah, pleased about it. We're currently looking at other properties at auction. So if something comes within our budget, then hopefully we'll be able to go through this process all over again.
And is Owen excited to take on the next project?
Yep, definitely. It's also going to be good for my future career in construction. And yeah, it really influences me for my future.
Back now to Crewe in Cheshire and a 2-bed mid-terrace guided at £25,000. And though still standing proud and tall, this house had signs it was rotten to the core.
Oh my gosh, look. We've got the start there of the little tendrils of dry rot as well. So something quite serious is going on here.
That was a worry because it was one of those unknown unknowns which might or might not be serious, whereas the known knowns were that the rest of the house was a classic layout, with 2 downstairs reception rooms knocked into one, a small kitchen, a backyard, and upstairs, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. And local data analyst Chris, having looked at all the figures, thought that at a price of £70,000, this house represented a potentially good investment. And he had plenty of other skills to bring to the party.
So what kind of bits for the practical work are you going to get involved in?
I'm going to get involved in the replastering of the wall.
Oh, are you? All right.
Yeah, I did the plastering previously in the previous place.
Oh, great.
That was quite fun.
Really?
It went really well. So
wow. That's a hard job.
Enjoyed that. So.
Well, replastering would definitely come in handy here. But before he did that, he was going to get in a specialist to check the damp. And he was also hoping that he might be able to squeeze in another bedroom upstairs, all on a budget of £7,500 to £10,000. And he hoped to get it all done in just 12 weeks. Well, he was right about the 12. But it's 12 months, not 12 weeks. And finally, we're back to check on progress. Well, a new door, fascias and windows mean the outside is looking good. But what about the inside?
We knocked the house back to brick. We plastered, boarded up all the walls. We left the layout downstairs as it was.
So the kitchen is still at the back of the house, but it's looking so much more modern and brighter.
Upstairs, we made changes to the layout. We changed the bathroom into a bedroom. We split the 2 original bedrooms. Put the bathroom in between them. As we felt this would add value to the property.
At last, it's looking good. But why did his timescale go out the window?
When we originally bought it, I was just expecting to take the wallpaper off the walls and re-skim the walls. However, the quality of the plaster underneath just fell off the wall when you peeled the wallpaper off. So at that point, I just decided to knock it all back to brick and start again.
One good thing about the back-to-brick approach was he could sort out the damp issues, remove all the rotten wood, plaster, then damp-proof the walls and floors. But all of this took a lot of his time.
I've done the plasterboarding, the skirting boards, the architrave,
Had a plumber to change the gas boiler, and I did all the rest of the radiators. And also somebody was needed to knock the wall down in between the 2 bedrooms and put an RSJ in.
So, a much bigger project than Chris had first realised. Plus, he also changed jobs. And doing this in the evenings and weekends, well, you can see it can't have been easy.
In some ways, I'll be sad to leave it, but I'm probably more leaning towards I'll be glad to see the back of it because of the amount of time and effort it's taken.
So Chris isn't totally sure whether to keep it and rent it out or to sell it on. But decisions like that depend a bit on the numbers. So how did his maximum £10,000 budget fare with all the unforeseen extra work?
It's ended up at nearly 22,000, and that was because we ended up knocking the property back to brick and starting again, and the cost of materials.
£22,000 is a lot more than expected, but you know what they say, if a job's worth doing. But that 22 grand on top of the £70,000 purchase price does mean that Chris has sunk £92,000 into what is now a 3-bed house. So, money well spent? What does a local agent think?
It looks to have been replastered. A very good job's been done on the paintwork. It's fresh and bright throughout. I can see that the upstairs has been reconfigured. It looks as though it's been a 2-bedroom and is now a 3-bedroom. My only slight concern is that the 2nd bedroom is possibly a little bit too small if we're looking to appeal to the family market.
Fair point, but Chris isn't sure whether to rent out or sell the house. Maybe the figures will help him decide what to do with his £92,000 investment.
If we were to put the property on the sale market, I would recommend a figure in the region of £110,000. If we were to put the property on the rental market, I would recommend a figure in the region of £625 per calendar month.
£110,000 for the sale of the property, that would be absolutely fantastic. And £625 per calendar month for the rental figure is also great.
It sounds like he's happy with both revenue streams. So what is it to be, Chris?
I think we know which way we want to go. I think we just want to sell the property and move on from it.
And hopefully Chris will move on with a pre-tax profit of £18,000 in his pocket. But how does he feel now it's all done?
I feel relieved and I feel like it's a weight lifted off my shoulders, and I'm so happy that it's finally finished.
There's no doubt that property developing can be, and usually is, a really steep learning curve.
Yes, there's lots of highs and lots of lows, lots of ups and lots of downs. But hopefully we've given you some hints and tips to help you on your way.
Join us next time for plenty more here on Homes Under the Hammer.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.